Hello and welcome, everyone, to the closing ceremonies of this year's natHACKS. So if you've made it this far, congratulations. We know 64 hours of hacking is a lot to get through, and we're excited to announce the awardees. And so this is what we're going over today. Starting with a recap. So over the 64 hours, you've had a chance to put together knowledge gained from our many hours of workshops available through our participant portal and live. We had 273 participants, with the majority being in person. That formed 71 teams that were able to cross the finish line. And so, natHACKS is run by a group called natHACKS. And so many of the opportunities you have throughout the weekend are available ongoing. So our boilerplates that you may have worked off of to start your projects, those will be available indefinitely, as well as improved through community support, as well as any connections you made throughout the weekend, mentors and sponsors, directors, teammates. You're encouraged to reach out and stay connected with all the connections you made over the weekend. As well as we'll be awarding 10,000 in seed funding, as well as matched in-kind funding from many of our great sponsors, some of which we'll be talking to you today. And then what specifically NeurAlberta Tech will make available in the coming year, up until the next natHACKS, is we support project teams under our umbrella. We also host networking opportunities throughout the year. We also have a makerspace on the University of Alberta campus. And we also host other virtual events, such as speaker series, which focus on specific topics in neurotechnology, where we get local and national and international speakers talking on specific topics, as well as our workshops. So if you didn't have a chance to access some of the workshops throughout the weekend, we have interactive coding templates that we walk people through, and then goes into the neuroscience behind neurotech as well. Yeah, check those out. We also have 3 different student chapters across Alberta. If you're from an institution other than one of these 3, you're welcome to reach out to the NPO. And actually, now we will kick off with a keynote speaker.
So thank you for having Alberta Innovates here to give a bit of a talk of inspiration to all the folks, the 273 participants and all the volunteers and organizers who we know make everything run behind the scenes and adapt quickly as needed. So my name is Chris Gagne, and I am the Executive Director for Post-Secondary Investments and Emerging Technologies at Alberta Innovates. And as you know, we are thrilled to be a platinum sponsor for the event, and we're thrilled to be supporting students in Alberta in such unique spaces as digital health, which is also one of our target areas. Alberta Innovates is the research and innovation engine for Alberta. We're a collaboration with the government of Alberta. And what was interesting and inspiring to me in thinking about this event in this keynote was, wow, you all committed a whole long weekend. What do you think everybody else was doing in Alberta during this long weekend? here are some fun pictures. Of course, I snuck a few from Lethbridge, Calgary, and Edmonton, and looked at the events and activities. And on top of that, there was 300 plus attendees or participants or engaged folks related to natHACKS, which is really astounding when you think about the communities coming together on such an important day for Alberta. The question is, how does this type of event and the participation make you feel? How and why are we motivated to attend and to give up a weekend into this immense challenge of 64 hours sleepless, coding, technical challenges, business pitch challenges, workshops, and everything else that the conference or session organizers bring to us, even technically in technical forums and working on Discord and all the other background details aren't necessarily something the other 4 million Albertans took on this weekend. So just to give you a sense of that factor and that contribution, really wanted to bring to your attention why I love hackathons so much and why some of the research shows they might be inspiring in the sense of what leads to better performance and better loyalty and better satisfaction personally are autonomy, challenge, knowledge and competence, and purpose, all of which natHACKS and hackathons and applied events like this really bring to us working together in teams. And that's one of the reasons it's so fascinating to be here and to join everyone as part of these events. So to jump into why, if any of you are familiar with this old age, 1945 was the original test, the candle problem, wherein you had to find a solution. And in 1966, they took a bit of a twist on this challenge. If any of you know it, there was the idea of functional fixedness, but they added a performance twist, which showed that it actually took longer to solve a complex challenge, which required thinking and skill. Just like, all of you are up to when you challenge a hackathon, when you put yourself through 64 hours of grueling problem solving. And what this research showed us is that it's not the money that always motivates, which kind of interesting. I'm starting this keynote before the awards. So I thought it was an interesting thing to bring to everyone's attention. And to remind in the context of Alberta, what this means bigger picture is that when we're thinking about delivering events like hackathons, when we're thinking about the companies we work for, when we're thinking about the places we live, over time, an extended period of decades and beyond, we really have the opportunity to tackle these huge challenges. In 1945, when this research was originally started, this is what Calgary, Lethbridge, and Edmonton looked like, which, if you put that on a duration scale, has significantly changed today. So when you're thinking about beyond, when you're thinking about what comes next after a hackathon, the job, the career you're looking for, the calling, how you want to create your future, and what the market conditions are showing us about all of these skills in data and in coding and the ambitions that each of you has, thinking about what that future looks like in Alberta means that you get to be part of a transformation that today made our cities look something like this. And I think that's a pretty inspiring story when you think about why each of you was just motivated to give a weekend, because you're also in a position that you're looking at what are you doing with all these skills and what are you doing to change and build projects for health, or with all the knowledge that you've acquired in school. So thinking beyond just this weekend and thinking beyond just a job, there's all these factors that come into why we want to be in Alberta, why we want to do what we do. And calling those to the forefront today was really what I wanted to highlight as a note of inspiration, building off of the fact that you're already giving this time to Alberta and to solving challenges. Related to tech, related to this future in Alberta, there are such an inspiring number of stats an inspiring number of startup companies, of technologies being commercialized in our larger industries, in transformation of our small and medium-sized enterprises, that's what inspires me to take part in this sector, to do the job that I do and be connected with students and post-secondaries and be driving the research and innovation agenda in Alberta. So if we're going to look out to the future with each of you at the helm, it's really your opportunity to tackle this challenge, to look at what and think about what you want to create as the future using all these skills and these learnings and these teams that you're building. And in my role and in the role of Alberta Innovates, we look at how we support people like you. We support the post-secondary research. We support the small and medium-sized enterprises as they move through this whole journey. It takes years in some cases. Some of the award presenters and some of the organizers would happily tell their stories and say that, you know, their journeys in this province and in this tech scene have been so inspiring and have the opportunity to build forward for our province and our country. And that everyone participating and coming together, even in this virtual forum, prove that we can do amazing things and create amazing technologies that make our lives better. So for Alberta Innovates, that's really about being a catalyst that supports. We want to fund and provide services that allow your projects to come to fruition and your ambitions to come to fruition beyond just this conference, beyond just these sessions and beyond just what you build today. So going back to those three factors that lead to better performance, autonomy offers us the chance to decide our own future, decide what we build today in a hackathon, what we build with our education, what we choose and who we choose as part of our teams, what sector we work in, what place we live in. And these types of things are what's going to drive our future through the knowledge and challenges that you tackle. We want and have this fantastic short-term forum of a hackathon and many other types of athons in Alberta. We've supported over 10 events in the last few months. And through our sponsorships, we also offer entrepreneurial education for those who look at a pathway that takes their knowledge and their skills in any direction. So no matter what direction, or what involvement you look at for your career future, research, commercializing in a startup, as part of a service provision in the ecosystem, or helping other students succeed, or just continuing the next few years as a student, any of those roles allows you to challenge and build your mastery and move forward, both for yourself individually, as well as for the greater system and in a more motivated way. So for your role, whatever you choose that to be, there are a number of supports that Alberta Innovates offers. And if you want details on those, you can definitely talk to any of the team members at any time. But the purpose of really speaking today is to give you those words that your future in Alberta can be totally bright. And there is a network across the province that's here to support any of the ambitions that you have going forward. Most recently, we've brought accelerators from around the world to Alberta. So we're bringing the best of the world here to support the ambitions and goals of folks solving big problems. And we're hosting an event that brings hundreds and thousands of ideas and millions of dollars together in Calgary this year and going forward annually to support and solve all of these challenges for our province. I guess my communications department would love if I say too, there's a special student discount for the Inventors event. So look out for it next year in June. The last factor for motivation is really about purpose and reflecting on your 64 hours. I really challenge you to think about why and what were the moments and the highlights of emotion or of fatigue that felt powerful, that felt like you were making a contribution to something, or that felt challenging. And why were you looking to solve rehabilitation or quality of life problems or make the healthcare system better? And for those of the teams that didn't necessarily finish, what were the sticking points? What do you take from that? Where are you learning forward? The core principles and mission of Alberta Innovates are not something that we talk about really openly. And yet they're one of the reasons that I've really appreciated coming to this environment. They really embody the values of motivation and curiosity and creativity and innovation that we're all looking, and through activities like hackathons and sponsorships, that we're all looking to support across the province. So I guess if I only have a couple minutes for the closing message, it really is that we're thankful to have the opportunities to support you through this hackathon event. We're thankful for the organizers who commit their time and their volunteering to putting so much effort and thought into how these are run, and time into the network and the extensive creativity that's built from this day forward. This is not the end of the journey. It may be the end of the event, but as Gail said, just as we started, it's really just the beginning. And the challenge and inspiration I hope to leave with you today is what's motivating you to tackle these challenges, and what are you learning, and how do we move that forward better for ourselves as individuals, our families, our communities, our teams, and our province, because we're here and committed to building the future with you as Alberta Innovates.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming to speak with us today and sharing your inspirational messaging. I think we will move right on into awards. As you can see, we have one award for the junior, and then all of the senior tracks. We have two, a first place of 2,000 and a second place of 1,000. Just a reminder, this is in the form of seed funding, so it's reimbursement based. So after we announce the winners, we'll then you request different purchases, and once you receive approval, then you can buy them on reimbursement. Okay. And so for presenting the junior track, we have Hero Laird from River City Venture Clinic.
Hi, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here, and it was wonderful to meet some of you on the weekend. If you didn't have a chance to come to our table, you can find us online, or you can find me or the other co-founders on LinkedIn or all the socials. We are here to provide free legal support in the form of information. You work with us as students, and we have the chance to work with mentoring lawyers to make sure we're helping you in a way that makes sense. But I really do welcome you to get in touch. We talked to a couple of people who said, I don't really know why I would need a lawyer. And after a minute, their eyes were wide open saying, oh, now I see. So even if you're not sure why you might need us, you can give us a call, and we're here to help. Our lovely presenter before me mentioned that it might not be the funding that motivates you, and we think it was the free legal advice. So with that, drum roll, I'm really pleased to announce Flomodoro team as the first place in the junior category. If we all had Flomodoro on right now, I would know which one of you are paying attention. And I was really inspired to see some of the methods that this team used and the results. So I look forward to seeing Flomodoro in my Apple store soon.
Yes, and just a reminder, all of the projects are hosted on DevPost. So if you're interested in watching the presentation / demo video of a given project, you can do so on our dev post. We'll be announcing the winners on there after the closing ceremony, so they'll be pinned right to the top. Next, I'll be announcing the second place award for the recreation track. Drum roll, please. We have Stan E.G. And so this was a 3D game focused on emotion feedback. So had some really interesting functionality around changing the mood of these free-ranging sheeps, i.e. their facial expression, as per the real-time or near real-time emotional state classification of the user. So very exciting to see. Congrats on being second place in the recreation stream. Next, we'll hear from Isaac, also known as the Industry Sandbox and AI Computing.
Thank you, Eden. Yes, so I'm Griselda Sugmoro. I'm the Business Development Specialist, but good afternoon, everyone. So first of all, congratulations to all of you. You conquered the 64-hour natHACKS by near Alberta Tech. So everything, like all those coffees, pizzas, tears, sweat, or even, debugging errors and also changing and designing interfaces, you did it. You surpassed the challenge. I am grateful because I have the opportunity to meet some of you when I was in the booth. So I was sitting behind the booth of Isaac, and then I saw a crowd came in, and then I was wondering which one are the participants, also which ones are the volunteers. But interestingly, everyone mentioned that they are equally excited about natHACKS. So I heard someone mention, oh, we know the problem we want to work on. And then the other person mentioned, oh, our team knows about the solution we want to do, but we don't know about the technology. And then my favorite mentioned, oh, we don't know what we are doing. So that's what I heard, but that's why you have mentors, you have sponsors, you also have volunteers, all the support systems for you. And for example, you are University of Calgary, they have Hunter Hub, and they did the workshop about pitching. And Isaac also did a workshop about Jupyter Hub and Jupyter Notebook. Also in real life conversations, Gail from Tech Alberta, who's going to speak later on, presenting the winner, she approached Isaac and mentioned how great it will be to promote the first jobs as well as the next level programs to students. And I think personally that the innovation ecosystem has a very vibrant but also supportive networks. At Isaac, we are here to support industries and businesses, especially in the cloud computing resources. We are present at hackathons, also technical workshops, mostly to support the model building, also model training for AI ML projects. But now I'm going to present the first winner for the recreation track. So watch out for the laser beams. May the concentration be with you. Here comes Brain Blast. Congratulations.
I think also gets a mention of being one of the most humorous of the submission videos. So yeah, there's no extra prize there, sorry, but you do get first place in the recreation track. Congratulations. Next, I will be announcing the second place in the research track. So this team was very much research focused, took more of a shotgun approach to addressing their problem, but I think overall was successful in combining multiple different technologies towards their solution. So we have sensory stimulation technology. So congratulations there. Next, we'll have a representative from the Edmonton Regional Innovation Network announcing the next award. And so,
Excellent. Thank you so much, Eden. So the Edmonton Regional Innovation Network, which is funded by Alberta Innovates, as are all of the 8 regions across the province, including that in Calgary and in Lethbridge. And then also I wear a hat as president, volunteer president of the First Jobs program presenter, being Technology Alberta. And then also this year we are presenting the Aztec Awards, the Alberta Science and Technology Awards that have been going on for 33 years across the province, celebrating the brightest minds and innovators across Alberta, and really excited again always to have Edmonton, Calgary, Lethbridge, and other leaders honored. So with that, a little bit more on the Edmonton Regional Innovation Network. As mentioned, it's funded by Alberta Innovates, and it's a coalition of organizations in the Edmonton region, and each region has these coalitions. Our collective goal is to build a collaborative, cohesive innovation ecosystem that connects the entrepreneurs to resources. And the resources they typically need, in addition to legal advice, is capital, customers, and community through the alignment of all the service providers in the area and across the province. So some of the key pillar areas are coaching and mentorship, developing entrepreneurship in post-secondary institutions, startup entrepreneur support, and community initiatives. And in that, you can see that natHACKS hits all these 4 areas. I happen to be the founding co-chair of the Community Initiatives Group, which is the specific sponsor of natHACKS, and it's definitely our honor to do so. Something that all the students across the province may be interested in is that Technology Alberta has a First Jobs program, as Griselda had mentioned, and this is a fully funded remote part-time internship where students through their school year or new grads can actually get paid $4,000, and it beats a job working at Tim Hortons when you can work for a robotics company part-time and learn so much, be possibly a future employee, but your experience will be great and you'll apply some of the great skills that you've shown in the hackathon this week. So please do apply on the website. And then also for the Alberta Science and Technology Awards, we have a YouTube channel which has over 100 short Aztec talks where you can hear more about some of the leaders across the province, and mark your calendars for November 4th this year. Without further ado, very pleased to announce the winner of the research track. Drumroll, please. It is EMG Control Simulation Tool by the YZ3 team. And I really enjoyed the video. And yes, there are 3, all the last names included in the YZ3 theme. And their technology simulates muscle, human muscle action, so that it can actually be used for many simulation purposes, including robotics. So I tipped my hand there. I'm very excited about this kind of application. It just has such great potential. Over to you, Eden.
Definitely. Yeah, they perhaps slightly outside of the initially intended scope, but they have big promise as far as integrating EEG in their mandate. So yeah, look forward to seeing the continuation of this project. Thank you, Gail, and for your support throughout the whole journey thus far. So yeah. Next, we'll have a representative from Alberta Innovates, one of our platinum sponsors for this year's natHACKS. She'll be announcing both the second and first place rehabilitation track winners. So Chris Venier, again, our keynote, pass it over to you.
Thanks, Eden. Yeah, so again, I would just like to echo a thank you and a congratulations to everyone who participated. And since I gave some notes around everything but the money, now I can talk about the awards and the dollars. And one of the things I'd like to just share with everybody so that they're well aware of the future potential Alberta Innovates has in the digital health portfolio. You know, we have over $70 million annually or thereabouts, and for a total overall spend, you know, in the range of 250. And then we look to amplify that with other investments that can be attracted to the province and leverage and different types of things, so that we can support things like the ERIN, the regional innovation networks. We can support entities that deliver services to the sector. And in particular, one of our priorities in digital health. So some of these builds that you've completed over the past few days and our awardees might find some success working with groups in the health portfolio to transform these into startups. And we'd love to see you reach out to us for that. So getting over to the business, the second place for the rehabilitation track goes to Brain Check. And what really inspired me, I encourage everyone to take a look at the video on DevPost, because what really stood out to me was how they focused in on the little known fact. I didn't know how much effect there was in children related to, and that the ability to actually track through an application would affect kind of an underserved sector. So that was really exciting. It was also fantastic to see like the pitch. I'm not sure who went to the workshop for developing pitches, but the pitches all started with this market opportunity and this big problem to solve. So kudos to Brain Check for really whetting the appetite on that. And the first place in the rehabilitation track went to Sleep Apnea Guardian. And I'm super invigorated at the fact that someone would tackle sleep apnea, you know, over 64 hours of not sleeping. So thank you very much for recognizing this, that this is a huge problem. And I think that you have a sample population in your fellow participants to help do some beta testing for the next phases of the application. So thanks, Eden, for allowing us to present the first and second place, and congratulations to the awardees.
Yes, thank you all for speaking and supporting natHACKS. So we kind of end off with wanting to know all the participants' opinions of the weekend. If there's anything we could do better, anything you particularly liked that we should keep doing. And we are offering 2 $100 gift cards to randomly picking from people who fill out the survey. So help us in making natHACKS 2023 that much better. So you can follow this QR code. We'll also be posting it on the Discord. So yeah, you have several days to fill this out. Yeah, shouldn't take more than I think 10 minutes. Yeah, and then yeah, just a shout out to all our other sponsors. It took quite a bit of a community behind us. So we are volunteer based ourselves, but there were a significant number of different entities willing to support us. So we appreciate that very much. And then I'd also like to highlight the team behind me. So I definitely was not able to do this on my own. There's some very equally talented and passionate individuals, if not more so, on the natHACKS board of directors. So if you had the opportunity to interact with them over the weekend, and you have ongoing questions around your project, you're more than welcome to reach out to any of them. And that is the closing ceremony for natHACKS 2022. So thank you all for being a part. It has been a tiring blast of sorts.
Congratulations, Eden, to you and the natHACKS team. This is quite phenomenal, and it's wonderful to have this Alberta-wide celebration of creativity, and really happy on behalf of all of us to be able to broadcast, the winners, in our newsletters, and really celebrate what you've been able to achieve, because we want to see more of this across the province. Thank you.
Yeah, we're looking forward already to next year. So there's some tricky deadlines that are for grants that we have to apply for in the next couple days, actually. So
I was just going to say congratulations to all the teams for their fine efforts, and especially, of course, those who won. And we were delighted to be a part of it all. And thank you for having us as one of the sponsors.
Awesome. Thank you.
Definite pleasure, Eden. Let us know how we can help. Bye now.